Chaps, got Sean. Sean, you came on our radar, it was about a month ago, because you started to publicly publicly show about your learning your journey to weight loss. But what I found interesting is you've linked that with mental health by helping us out financially, but you it's like you want to raise awareness by using weight loss as your focal point, if that kind of makes sense, on that. And what I give you credit for, one, you seem to be holding yourself accountable, which I think, especially when it comes down to mental health or even weight gain, sometimes we can get in that pity party of moaning about it rather than fixing it. But you've just gone straight in and you're doing a fundraiser, but you're holding yourself accountable. I've already seen you've been doing the weekly posts about it. But what I find absolutely incredible, Matt, is you're putting those posts on LinkedIn, which for me, and as a man, especially men, don't really talk about weight loss or anything like that. So kudos to you, mate. So why are you doing it? Obviously, it's to lose a few pounds, but why are you doing it?
It's a really, really good question. And I think that is the key point in increasing my motivation through all things. You know, whenever I'm setting my goals, the main question that I ask myself is why. And for me personally, it's my son. He's 4 years old, and I want to have the energy and, you know, the active lifestyle with him where I can take him to the park and have a run around and kick the football about without getting out of breath, you know, going swimming as well, for example, with
Yeah.
confidence. And you know, being around for my son for the long term, really. So that's my number one priority. And the second one is really to boost my own confidence and self-esteem as well, you know, and really kind of increase my own positive mental health and well-being through things like diet, exercise, and really kind of embracing the benefits that that brings as well. And I think last but not least, the reason why I'm posting my journey on places like LinkedIn and Facebook is that I do want to raise awareness of mental health
Yeah.
and hopefully inspire others that might be in a similar position to me with their weight, whether that be a man or woman. Because, you know, in the UK, I believe that we are in an obesity crisis. And I
I
think
think
if
I think when it comes down to population, we're catching up very, very quickly with America, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And, you know, as I've said, if I can help at least one person to resonate with what I'm doing and inspire them to lose weight and feel better as well,
Yeah.
then, you know, I think,
Oh, I think you've broken up there for a split second. Oh, sorry. I don't know whether that.
oh, can you hear me now?
No, I can. It just froze for that's a first in man up. It just froze for maybe a second. So what have you said in the last second, mate? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying, you know, if I can help um, people to engage with my social media posts on LinkedIn and Facebook, and if I can help inspire other people that might be in a similar situation to lose weight and feel better, then you know that's something that I'll be really, really happy about.
No, well, good on you, because I do think as a society, we're quite keen to fat shame. I think, and
Yeah.
I lost about 7 stone myself, so I've been there.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
phenomenal.
I was my tipping point was MANUP actually caused me loads of body problems, because about 2 years ago, a year ago, I saw a photo of me doing a dare to dip. You know, we joined someone doing the dare to dip thing at like 6:30 in the morning, and
Oh yeah.
I remember looking at the photo, and I went to my wife, and went, "Why didn't you tell me I was fat?" I literally and it gave me no one said anything, but it triggered something in my mind where I'm just like, I need to lose all of that. I think when I was doing the whole Googling stuff, it was all about join the gym, burn yourself out, and all of that kind of stuff. It's just it made it worse actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's those kind of trigger points that drive you into action sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I hit my heaviest last year, you know, and I was feeling out of breath, climbing up the stairs. I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. You know, still to this day, you know, I'm very reluctant to take my son out swimming, you know, and wear a pair of trunks just for the fear of like feeling embarrassed about, you know, the way I look, for example.
Yeah.
I've now had to buy kind of suits from specialist like retailers online because,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, they don't often fit in like the mainstream stores. And one of the tipping points for me that really, you know, I thought I really need to get a grip in terms of my weight, was we were at a theme park last year, queuing up for the ghost train with my son. And then I noticed in the background a weight limit. You know, you have to be under 16 stone to ride, you know, this particular thing.
Yeah.
So does have, you know, being overweight, it can have a lot of limitations. And I think, you know, those were definite trigger points that spurred me into, you know, positive action and, you know, making these changes now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So how did you get into that mindset of I need to change this?
I think
Because I think the context
it's,
behind it, it's easy to go, right, I need to do this. I'll start next week. I'll start next week.
yeah,
But what was your tipping point of like, well, I'm doing it now?
I think mindset is everything, and it really is a mindset shift. You mentioned earlier about you know, fat shaming, for example,
Yeah.
but I think it's recognizing that it's not always your fault. You know, we like, I think society, and those that are struggling with weight have built up all sorts of unconscious habits for years that they don't necessarily realize that they're doing it. But the good news is that if you bring it to your conscious kind of mind about what habits that are unhelpful that you're doing, you can then start taking that ownership and accountability for your journey and your
Yeah.
loss. You know, I think our society in the UK almost encourages unhealthiness. You know, we've got all sorts of apps that you can click a few buttons and get takeaways and you know, corner shop items straight to your door within, you know, half an hour. You've got aisles of junk food in supermarkets. You've got, you know, TV streaming channels where you can watch like films and, you
Exactly.
know, soaps and stuff where you know, it encourages people to stay at home rather than go out for a walk, have a bit of exercise, connect with people, go out in nature. So society's set up, um, you know, to be a bit unhealthy. So, you know, don't shame yourself, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
you know, because you can't shame yourself into self improvement.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why is because negative self talk, it doesn't help because it's only going to lead to more negative results. You've
Yeah.
got to really kind of be patient with yourself, like kind to yourself and understanding, and actually just explore the root causes of your problem, you know, and why you might have got to that size in the first place, and then create, you know, a realistic set of plans um,
So,
to, you know, get yourself forward, if that makes sense.
no, it makes perfect sense. So did you get chubby by accident, or because me, I think COVID, and just like everyone else, COVID just ended up binge eating and just eating in the office. And the thing is, I don't know if you're self-employed yourself, but with me, I can quite happily just sit here for like 10 hours and just have a sandwich
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that. But it's not like a nice sandwich; it's like a meal deal or something like that. And it's just so easy, isn't it? And then someone offers, "Oh, do you
absolutely.
want this cookie?" It's just so easy to do all that. So was you in an accident one? Was you or?
I think it is all about being mindful about the food that you eat, and a lot of eating is done unconsciously, I believe. So
I
you
agree with that.
can graze and snack and not really understand the amount of calories that you're putting into your body,
Yeah,
and what impact that's going to have in the long term. So the more you start thinking a bit more consciously about what you're eating, you can then start to manage, your weight loss better. And I think that's what happened with me,
yeah,
just literally not thinking properly about the food that I was eating, and not taking the time out to plan healthy meals and a healthy lifestyle, possibly like relying on those takeaway apps when you're running out of time, um, and things like that. So it's just really changing those little things and making small tweaks that make a big impact.
yeah.
So like writing a weekly shopping list, making sure that you've got all the ingredients that you need for the week, making your meals from scratch, planning some time in for you to go out for a walk or do a quick workout.
Yeah.
Those are all the good things that are gonna, fingers crossed, hopefully lead to some success.
So it seems to me it's quite interesting because it seems to me like you've managed to you're getting a lot of senses of achievement.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of keeping this sustainable, and this goes for anything, any topic in terms of goal setting and wanting to achieve certain things, you've got to break it down into manageable chunks.
Yeah,
And I think the reason I've tried weight loss programs in the past, and the reason why I've failed is because I've expected results too quickly.
yeah,
So I'm 4 weeks into my journey now, and I could be saying to myself, "Oh, I should have lost 2 stone by now.
yeah,
Why have I only lost 7.5?" But it's kind of like trying to flip your script to be more positive and
yeah,
thinking, right, well, 7.5 pounds in 4 weeks is a really good achievement.
yeah.
And to make your weight loss more manageable, it's breaking it down step by step, week by week, day by day, and celebrating those small successes all the time.
And it gets your brain in a routine as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the way that I'm going to win in terms of, meeting this target is consistency,
Yeah.
and it's all those small little positive actions that you're taking each hour, and each day that will ultimately build up to, long term positive benefits for the future. Do you see where I'm coming from?
No, no, I do absolutely. So, but it's clearly helped your mental health as well.
Yeah, yeah, massively, massively.
So just before draws to close then, because I've also seen, I don't want to sound dramatic, so I apologize. I've also seen the other way as well, where people just completely transform themselves. When will you know when to stop?
That's a good question.
The
That's a
the the,
good
re, the
question.
reason being is my wife before when I did everything when I done everything, my wife was just like, okay, well done to you, but now you're looking like a rake. Like, stop.
Yeah.
So what would be? Sorry, I don't want to go like just end the call like that, but
No, that's an interesting question.
because it can become an obsession.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think in terms of hitting that 8 stone target, that's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah,
And, it's great that a year from now, visualizing myself achieving that goal. But I guess once I've achieved it, it's looking at maintaining that weight.
it's a long-term
So
process.
making
Yeah,
sure, like, so my focus would be then ensuring that, what I've embraced in terms of a regular exercise routine and healthy eating habits is a permanent lifestyle choice.
yeah,
So, not Like my worry would be, right, you know, I've achieved 8 stone and then relax, you know, and then get back into bad habits and more takeaways and less exercise and then putting the weight back on. So I think it's all about balance, isn't it? You don't want to overdo it and lose even more than the 8 stone, but then also you don't want to relax and then, you know, get back into bad habits again. So it's, I
Yeah.
suppose, having that balance, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, but basically where I've stabilized, where I'm at a happy place, is actually during the week I'm near enough vegan. It's just happened by accident, really. So during the week I'm
That's
near
really
enough
good.
vegan, and then over the weekend, Saturday I'll pretty much do what I want. I'll have a
Yeah,
Saturday,
yeah,
I'll stay wherever else, and then Sundays is always our not snacky, but always we always eat. And for us, it's just kind of work like that, really. And
yeah,
it's exactly the same as mental health, isn't it? It's just once you start feeling better about your mental health, you've also got to keep at it. It's exactly the same with the weight stuff, isn't it? So
yeah,
losing
100%.
weight, losing weight over time can be quite easy if you keep the mindset. I'm making it sound like it's easy. Actually, thinking back, it wasn't actually. But for me, it's about those baby steps and giving yourself gratitude in the right places. But you've got to change your mindset.
Yeah, mindset is everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, same with anxiety and depression and all this kind of stuff. So just before we draw to a close, then, because we've flown through that actually, I guess. If someone's watching this and they're thinking, "Oh, it's easy for you to say," or they're just feeling a little bit down in the dumps because they've got a bit of plump or whatever terminology they want to do, what would you say to them to do?
I would say
It's
be
hard, right?
kind to yourself. You know, don't you know, don't feel ashamed. You know, feel free to reach out to others that may have been, you know, in a similar situation to you. There are support networks that you can, you know, talk to, share ideas, get tips, you know, and set yourself some goals that are measurable and achievable and realistic, so that, you know, if you do decide to embark on a journey of change, you know that it's manageable and sustainable for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody wanted to donate to your thing, but is it? I should know this. So I apologise. It's just I get tagged in so much stuff now. I just can't keep up with it. So if someone wanted to donate you or follow you more on your journey, how would one do that?
Well, that's a really good question. I've set up a Just Giving page, and I post my weekly journey on LinkedIn. So you can find me, you know, type my name in LinkedIn, Sean Gutteridge, and you can follow me and my journey each week. And each week I'll give you an update of the weight I've lost so far, achievements, barriers, and issues. But then at the bottom, I'll always have the Just Give In Man Up link,
Okay.
for anyone that wants to, you know, donate and really raise awareness of men's mental health.
So well done to you, Matt. I think you've just found that nice little sweet balance where you're getting a lot of awareness about just a lot of little things all at the same time without preaching. So I think you've done really well on that. So kudos to you, mate. But let me hit the unrecord button. I don't even know if unrecord is even a word, but